Hey guys, welcome back to another Toy Box Player Review. I'm Josh Stewart, and in the Toy Box today, we got this thing here. This is a G&L L2000 Tribute Series made in Indonesia. I've just pulled this out of the box for the first time. I'm pretty impressed. Look how shiny that is. I don't even know how to light this thing properly. The finish is so shiny, I'm afraid to even touch it. Look at that. If you want to gather any CSI evidence, this is the base for it. You can see everything on that, and that looks wonderful, doesn't it? That finish is just absolutely magic. Did not expect such a finish from the Indonesian bases. Anyway, let's move on. So the appointments are as goes. You've got the high mass bridge. So yet again, these tribute series bases are, a lot of times you might buy the more affordable bases, and what you'll do is upgrade some of the elements on the base, probably starting with pickups and bridge and maybe the tuning pegs, maybe the nut, but essentially this has got your high mass bridge. It's not the same as the USA. It is a composite, but it acts the same. It feels very sturdy. It's a very cool bridge. You have the actual USA pickups in this. These are not some kind of Indonesian version of the USA. These are the actual same pickups that are in the USA version. You have the same looking tuning heads. You just don't have the aluminium tuning posts, which the US models do. But having said that, there's no neck dive on this thing. We're going to plug it in a sec and check out all of this stuff down here. But let's just say first impression, very impressed. Very impressed on the first impression. A satin neck. That's really nice. Maple fingerboard, maple neck, obviously. This is, I believe, an ash veneer on the top here. And what a wonderful instrument. So basically a quick run through of this style of preamp. So George Fullerton, Leo Fender. George worked with Leo at Fender. George was his designer. So when Leo sold the Fender company, started his own factory with George, and they started designing and making Music Man stuff. Then after a period of time, there was a fallout with Music Man, and then they just started to make their own new instruments called G&L, George and Leo. If you actually look at some of the Music Man Sabres from the late 70s, you're going to see a very similar style bridge, very similar style pickup setup, and a very similar preamp to this. So you could see the direction they were going. So what you basically got here is you got a passive bass and treble. You've got a volume. So these bass and treble works whether you're in active or passive mode. The back switch here, you've got an active. You've got a passive at the back, active in the middle, and active with a treble boost in the front. And the treble boost goes along if you're going to be using your series or parallel. So when you have your pickups in parallel, which is down here, there's a slightly less output, maybe a more detailed sound, if you will, more refined sound. Then you can click it up to series. When you go into series, there's a lot more bass comes through. So they've got this little treble switch to add some more bass to the sound, which we'll check out anyway in a sec. And then you've got your pickup selector here. So you've basically got back, middle, and front pickup. So it's not as daunting as it looks, these electronics. And as far as I can tell, this is a really cool bass. So let's go check it out and then come back with some final words. Boom. Okay, guys, here we are again, and girls and everybody. I don't mean to genderfy anything. It's just a very Aussie thing to say. Probably should re-educate myself. No excuses. No excuses. Anyway, what a fun bass to play. I think this is a great option if you are looking for a kind of Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades. You got a various sound options here. You can kind of get a bit of a Music Man vibe going, a bit of a jazz bass, bit of a P bass. But it's also got its own character, which is really cool. I wouldn't say that. I mean, let's look at it this way. I wouldn't say that it does all of those basses exactly like those basses do it. But if you've got one bass and you want to do a bunch of different gigs, you can't really go wrong with this fella right here. And or girl, as I teach myself on the job. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this at all. High quality stuff. I'm familiar with the USA versions of this. There is a difference. Before you ask me, yes, there is. There's a price difference, and there's a difference in, let's say, some of the quality. But I'm going to say stuff that's hard to communicate on a video. I call it mojo. It's that thing where you put the instrument in your hand and you just go, yep, that. You just feel the craftsmanship. It's kind of one of those magic, touchy-feely things that us creative folk like to talk about. This, by all means, is not a bad instrument. It does have mojo, but because I'm familiar with the other ones, I'm a little biased. But if you take this as a starting out instrument, or even you're playing your week, you've got some pub gigs on the weekend, or even you're going to hit some bigger stages every now and then, this will do you well. You're not going to have a problem with this instrument. So, thanks again for watching at home. Please hit subscribe, hit like. I'll be doing some more reviews really soon. Love yous. Have a great one. Biggity, biggity, boom. Toy Box Player, out.